20 years ago, Active Schools set out with a powerful mission to get more people more active more often. Along the way, Sport Scotland championed and reminded us that we are all part of something big. Here in Stirling, volunteering has been integral to the opportunities our young people have benefited from. We have partnered with teachers, school staff, families, young people, sports clubs and local communities to make our mission a reality. Together, we've given thousands of young people positive experiences in sport and physical activity. Over the past 20 years, we've been so lucky to have so many fabulous volunteers. However, we are beyond blessed to have a few special heroes who have shared the whole 20-year journey with us.
I'm Sammy Hibbert from Killin Primary School, and I'm an SLA and I've been volunteering with Active Schools for 20 years.
Obviously, you have been working with the Active Schools programme for 20 years. That's the 20-year anniversary, and this morning we just want to ask you some questions about what your experiences have been and why you have continued to join us with your brilliance for that whole time. So which Active Schools programmes have you been involved with?
So over the years I've been involved with lots and lots. We've done Think Dancing, has been absolutely phenomenal. I have loved all the athletics events, so the cross country, the fun in athletics. The children just get so much from it. I have enjoyed playground squaddies, and I've enjoyed being involved with the children putting together their own classes over lunch times and break times and seeing how they grow as children and become little leaders within the school.
Brilliant. So if someone says to you, what is the Active Schools programme, what would you tell them?
I love the fact that Active Stirling and Active Schools has brought activities and sports to children, particularly in rural areas that would have no access to these sports or activities otherwise, and could then develop a passion within them that they didn't know they had, because they don't know these sports or activities actually exist.
Brilliant. And do you have a particular favourite programme that you've participated in over the years?
Surprise, surprise. Think Dance has been just a massive part of my life. It started way back with the very first time it happened. I love how it's so child-led. So they pick the theme, they pick what they want to include, and then as a team they all work together to create this piece that is fun and that they enjoy. And then to be able to perform at the McRobert is just a brilliant opportunity for children, particularly in rural areas that don't get to do that. To have the big lights on them and the music and the big audiences, they just love it. And dance has now become a part of our school. So the children are putting together a routine and a dance for our 65th birthday party in June. So yeah, great.
Obviously you've been involved with Active Schools during the day and as part of your job, but you've also volunteered lots of your own time to run clubs out with that.
Yeah.
What's your motivation for that? Why do you enjoy it?
The children, ultimately, they get so much out of it. I saw that my children got things out of it, and they've progressed from taking part within the clubs to now volunteering in clubs out of school as well, with different events, particularly athletics for them. But it just gives children so many opportunities that they wouldn't have if Active Schools wasn't available.
Over the years you've attended lots of different events. Which of those have you enjoyed and why do you think they're so beneficial?
Okay, I've loved cross country. In fact, actually most of the events, because it gives our children from a small school the opportunity to mix with children from other schools that they actually will then end up at high school with. So it helps with transitions for them going on to high school, and even if they don't speak to the other boys and girls, they recognise faces, and I think that's really important.
If you were going to, and I'm sure you would recommend Active Schools as a programme or to volunteer within that programme, what would you say to people?
That you get more out of it than you actually give, because seeing the children's faces is just priceless, and seeing them grow as little people and as young adults is just everything you need from it, and you meet some pretty amazing people.
You do, and for us, we've got to meet you over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
And for me, some of the volunteers that you work with, there's been so many people over the years, but there have been some special friends like yourself who've stayed for that whole time period and made everybody's jobs more joyous because of your enthusiasm, which inspires the children, but also the adults you work with.
But you bounce off each other. They're enthusiastic, so you get enthusiastic, and they come up with an idea that gives you an idea, and it just all works together.
Do you have a favourite Active Schools memory?
Think dance, McRobert stage. Just seeing their faces and the awe as they walk out onto the stage. And then they're like, we're here, we're going to perform here. And then all the lights on them, and then going to the dressing rooms of all the things, and our children used to come in at the beginning of the school year, and they'd know that it was their class that would be doing it that year, and they'd be like, when do we start, and what are we going to do it on, and what songs are we going to use? And just the enthusiasm and excitement that comes from them is just infectious, and I just love it, and I really miss it. Yeah, I miss them at Robert.
Obviously, one of the biggest challenges for people across the country with Active Schools are transport costs. How do you feel Active Schools have worked with you here to try and mitigate some of those challenges?
Well, Active Schools have been brilliant when we did the dance programme, because you provided the buses. Do you know, that was part of the programme. We'd give an amount of money, but ultimately the buses were provided. It was all organised, and it's been a big thing because transport costs have been huge and have become huge, and you will do everything you can to support us so that we can get to events, because we always have a long way to travel.
I think it's also nice that sometimes you invite us to come and visit you.
Yeah.
Like very recently, the school and the head teacher here were in charge of running your own community. Yeah, so we did a 2K road run for the McLaren cluster, and it was based here, and we had 182 children that came and took part, and that was just brilliant. And it's a celebrity back marker who was bringing it round everybody. Round celebrity back marker, yeah. It was a Hibbert sandwich, one at the front, one at the back. So, no, it was good, and it's great that actually you, as coordinators and Active Schools, come and support us and give us help when we need it. And also with Michael coming and helping on our health week, so he's been out twice this week, and he's got a brilliant relationship with the children, and the different activities that he can bring out for them, and it's been great. And then Claire, before that, she was always here, doing all sorts of things, giving the children brilliant opportunities with the earth ball, which they would never know. I'll never forget a little P1 standing on top of the earth ball. I think it's probably the highest he's ever been in his life, and the look on his face was just brilliant. I think Claire used to have a rule that you couldn't go on top of the earth ball with her after you're in primary 3 because she's not very tall. Yeah, she was too little to hold on to it. That was as far as she could reach after that. Yeah, no, it was just, it's been a fantastic programme that actually the children would have had such less experiences within school without. And if you were to sum up your experience of Active Schools in 3 words, which words would you choose? Okay, so it's been really fun. It's given the children opportunities they would never have ever had before, and it's helped develop leaders and just the children's all-round well-being within the schools.